seconds to make it happen.
Make it happen. I'll go fight Laura.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
to the end of Bloodborne.
Welcome to the end of Bloodborne's DLC. I guess this is what IGN wanted to show us.
Oh no, now they're playing the regular game. The DLC was like an insert, so now it's literally
just
the final
end
boss.
of the normal game.
Yeah.
Hey, KZ, how you doing?
It's okay.
I'm doing great. Moon Presence is raw.
Yeah, no, this is probably one of the coolest bosses for a final boss they ever had. I can't think of anything even close. Like,
Yeah, it did that thing where it reduces your health to 1 and scares the shit out of you.
Unbelievable.
Turn off the subtitles, at least for now.
I like that all the IGN chat was just like you listing off Guilty Gear characters they wanted.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing today. That and 13 Sentinels.
Orange Bridget.
I don't know, it might be today.
Oh, okay.
I hosted a channel on Twitch last night. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. It doesn't track his head at all.
Yeah.
How do you do that on accident? Anyway,
I'm just glad I can actually
I hosted a channel last night that reruns Game Center CX because they were playing Donkey Kong. I thought it was fitting for Donkey Kong Month.
Right.
I apparently left it hosted for a very long time.
Oh.
So a bunch of people stumbled in and were like, "What is Game Center? I've never heard of this."
Oh.
Go on. They're like, is that Mr. Feel?
Yes, that's Mr. Feel.
A little hard on myself here, but I want to let everybody out there know just
That's how he looks.
difficult it is to keep
He's a 40-year-old Japanese comedian.
You start running into technical
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing now? I thought you just beat the boss.
Are like the worst runs they've
Filling
ever done.
time.
It's always when their internet starts dropping frames or they.
There's gotta be something else to the speedrun that I just don't know about. Like maybe there's another boss hiding somewhere.
I have no idea. Big Nerd Sam in chat says, "Happy birthday, Tosh UWU."
You couldn't hear anybody.
UWU.
UWU.
It is incredible to me. So I hope everybody out there understands.
Ooh.
It is the truth.
Oh no, he's turned full banjo.
I was starting to sweat. The technical.
Oh yeah, this is the boss where it's just the old boss, but it's on fire.
Oh. I forgot. Maybe I didn't do this part of the ending, or didn't do this ending. I don't know. There's multiple endings of Bloodborne.
You must fear Lawrence.
Yeah, this is one of the DLC bosses. Because it's Vicar Amelia that was like in the first third of the game.
Now I'm just remembering that extra boss in Sekiro, which I will never beat because it's way harder than the actual boss of the game.
Oh, is that the one where it's like you get an earlier ending?
No, there's like I don't think it gets you an earlier ending, but it's like a gigantic man in the middle of a war field, and he's on fire.
Oh yeah, the demon thing.
Yeah, it's like,
And just like that, we don't take a hit, and we kill one of the hardest bosses in the game.
GG, man.
And that's all bosses, dude.
We did it. That was an even bigger spectacle of a boss to
Hey,
finish on
KZ.
anyways. It was all the script
Yeah.
went according
We're
to
live
plan.
now?
Remember, death's for entertainment
Yeah,
purposes.
we're live now.
I'm very glad
We're live now.
That was amazing. That was incredible. You just
I had to
beat every
rewatch
Bloodborne
that
boss
scene
except
after
for
the.
ones that you
They're
did.
ray traced now.
They're ray traced now.
And we deliver it the same way. It's perfect.
There it is. J Hobbs, thank you so much for
Oh,
commentating
man.
again. Where can we find
Oh
you?
my god.
I'm really glad they're using some of the ray tracing for that game because it's mostly the same
Don't forget to go to
skeleton
Right.
of the original Spider-Man on PS4.
Now real pretty.
Now,
Listen it, Ed. I looked at the wrong screen and thought, wow, GigaBoots has new members. It's like, yeah, there's Mark Medina, member of GigaBoots.
let
Just
me
wait, Brian Altano's gonna be like, Wahoo Yahoo video games.
let me be clear. I may invite some people on the show. I'm thinking one or two in particular who don't have a good concept of showmanship, but I will never invite someone on the show that is acid on the face like most IGN personalities, just to be clear.
Hey, we would be so much better if we had Jim Carrey.
The real one? I don't know. I might get canceled for having him on. I don't know how his court trial went, though, or when we're talking.
Oh, no.
I was telling Dan before we started how excited I am for tomorrow because it's people who just hired hosts. And how much better that is than IGN hosts.
Yeah, professional hosts a good move.
Yes.
I like day 9.
He's better than any of these guys.
I just, you know, you don't have to be high energy. You can just be, you can be sincere about liking this. Like, Jeff Keighley isn't out there like, hello everyone, welcome to Summer Games Fest. I'm your host, Jeff Keighley. Like, he's fucking
like,
honest about being passionate about video games. In fact, most of the time when he finishes showing a clip or something, let me see if the crop cam looks correct. Okay, good. You get a good, like, couple seconds of, like, here's the gameplay, and then here's him. Okay, well, that was a game. I'm very excited for PlayStation.
That's a cool Soul Calibur 5 poster, by the way.
Yeah, you know, the best Soul Calibur.
Yeah, that's the good one.
We just need to do the. Just put a little piece of
I
tape,
was
make
about
it
to
6.
say, are you gonna make it Soul Calibur the poster?
We might
Get
just
people angry.
might just tape over all of them. Man, that it would be pretty cool if we got to see more of Scarlet Nexus.
That'd be very cool, yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
an
Like
exclusive.
gameplay. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh
it's
they're
opening
shit,
on it.
we're
the right
opening
way.
with some Guilty Gear.
Amazing.
Nice.
This is gonna be 45 seconds.
It is.
Yeah, mankind knew they could not change society.
Oh,
New character is society.
it would work.
Oh shit.
Huh.
Really? Remlethal's very cool. I'm like, Ram Lethal. The game's like, Remlethal. And I'm like, okay, we can do that.
Why not?
Hold on, I don't know my Guilty Gear. Is this the Shark Teeth one?
Yes.
God, he won. Damn it.
He's not even here and he won.
Right?
That's usually how that works, though. Feels more prone to win when he isn't here. So that way it's just people on stream being upset. She didn't show shark teeth.
Weird.
Oh. Okay, he lost.
Next
All right,
character
see you in 2
trailer,
months.
August 2020.
All right. We don't know when the game's coming, so I have no relative to that compared to when it ships.
Yeah, because it got moved to next year. God, let's
Yeah.
just do same 3. Please. Swap out the other 2. Just leave Max.
I'm gonna be honest. I like her shirt a lot more today. It's very trendy. These
Okay.
two still look like clowns.
No.
No,
Okay,
Cactus
I
is good.
love Max's shirt. Cactus Hawaiian shirt. It's incredible.
I love your own.
Can't wait for someone to be like, Dan, you said the guy on the right looks like a clown, but he's wearing a denim jacket, and I'm just like,
Donations go to support the World Health Organization's code.
I lost it when I was like, damn, what are you doing retweeting Brian Altano? We're making fun of him for having DMT 2 days ago.
Over the weekend, you can catch the Guerrilla Collective and PC Gamer Show if you want to catch more gameplay and trailers. But for now,
he's got Nate Fox face going on.
And he's got like all those little buttons from big old games on his denim jacket. Very cool.
Hey, that button of Link's Awakening is possibly better than the game.
Yes.
They're rolling trailers.
Oh man, what are we doing? We're going straight to
Man,
an
look at
exclusive.
this. We did one thing, now we're doing another.
Yeah.
Okay. Expectations.
Yeah, it's like,
You can see the graph. Just shoot.
And now for something completely different.
You can't say that. Like, you already just...
Oh, guys.
KZ, you've never seen anything Monty Python, right?
Nope.
I will never shame you for that, but also gotta say it doesn't surprise me. I don't... So that intro was just for context for KZ and anyone else who hasn't watched Monty Python. It was clearly going for a Monty Python thing, and that it very explicitly referenced a Monty Python bit.
Oh, don't worry. I knew that was a Monty Python bit because everyone does them.
Yeah.
Man.
Ew.
This is like KZ and Fields impersonating a British person.
It really is. It's like the worst impersonation of Monty Python I've ever heard. And for some reason, it's always like edging into a French impersonation. Like, expect this guy to be like, Sakurai Blue.
Saker Blue.
Baguette. Exclusive.
Sakura Blue. Days Gone DLC. Nope.
Ranch
Ranch
Sim.
Sim. Exciting. Oh, my God. Probably better than last
Why
night.
would I want to simulate a dressing?
Oh, wow. I did not expect it to be first-person renovations.
I kind of didn't expect it to be like... I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting Fallout vibes
I was
with
about
how
to say,
you build
it
things.
feels
Yes.
like Fallout 4 settlement stuff.
Yeah.
I expected the delays.
Grab one egg at a time. Yeah, that's what a fucking farmer does.
Whatever, you shoot bears.
Look at
Exclusive.
this.
Yeah,
Game. What was day one about?
I don't know. Filling time for no reason.
Aggro was melting.
Yeah.
We didn't even tell him we were doing today.
No, we didn't.
I don't
Seeing
want
that
that
ship
to
just reminded me of X-Wings and that they formally announced that Star Wars thing.
Yeah, we don't get to see a trailer till Monday, though.
Tragic that they waited until after Big Thing.
Yes.
This is stimulating me more than the last couple.
It's like Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah. Okay, you're good. This week's Big Think won't have any what we've been playing, just as a heads up to everyone. When
You just got a brand new look at
'Cause we have no time.
If that got your attention, great news because we got our
Because
new
I'll
Christmas
die,
exclusive
Tosh.
gameplay right now. But if you would rather talk about tactical strategy or nail and gnarly,
he has a one-day
This will
turnover
be
time
worse.
now.
we're taking a look at Warhammer 40K.
I will send an unedited chunk to Dan and not tell him it's unedited.
And then I'll post it and people will make fun of it and be like, I don't edit Big Think.
Back in 2015, the original Everest
No.
was launched into orbit.
Yes.
Successful Kickstarter campaign.
At least it's not her doing
already
the interview.
over.
This guy's only the hair better, but you know, he's still terrible.
I mean, anyone who can avoid the question, is the person playing your game in this demo good at the game?
Hey, I'm good.
Anyone who can navigate their way around asking that incredibly tempting question is doing an alright job in my book.
I assume she turns off the camera and then runs into her walls because she can't figure out where the door was.
The first one was.
Of course we'll have the Pod Lord.
Kick-ass game, but it was more of a roguelike, and
Yeah, you can't avoid the pod lords. They pay for that.
Yeah.
How did this plan?
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, that's a good question. We get that quite a lot. So the
No,
first one
Voxedra,
in- like freelancer-
Given my childhood of being in too many restaurants where they say, hey, it's my relative's birthday, have your staff sing to him. We will not be singing Tosh Happy Birthday on stream, because that seems like continuing in the world's worst tradition.
But back then we didn't have the budget, so it was our first title.
Also, we might get claimed.
That's okay. Just use that birthday song that Master Shake had written.
No, you'll always find a way.
It's going to be a long 5-year build-up to the actual podcast for Aquatine Hunger Force. It'll be hilarious, too, because by the time we get to it, we'll be absolutely crushing the Adult Swim podcast. And they'll just be like, these guys are doing our thing and making more money.
But it's okay because they'll have started Aqua Teen again by then.
Wait, actually, Aquatine
to connect with your fan base
or
and
Adult
see
Swim
your content
podcast.
and to work with your community.
When's our podcast that's
them early on board.
Aqua Teen versus home movies?
Oh, that's right. There's an actual official Adult Swim podcast. The podcast I was referring to was The Deep End, which has
This is
two
neat.
thirds of the viewer patrons we do. And their top tier's $5. Yeah, we're already crushing them. What am I talking about? But yeah, no, this game looks really neat.
Oh man, it kind of reminds me of Freelancer.
I think Everspace is made by the same people as Freelancer, but maybe I'm wrong.
They've mentioned Freelancer out loud a few times. So.
What?
Yeah.
Man, that game was pretty neat. I was a little disappointed because all their reviews were like, it's like Diablo in space, so I bought it. It's not like that, but it's still fun.
But it's still really good. Oh, Freelancer was made by Chris Roberts.
From...
Maybe I'm mixing it up. No, that is the Wing Commander guy, and thus the Star Citizen guy. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, do I have a game for you? It's called Squadron 42, and it's the single-player game they spun off of Star Citizen.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Is that actually
it's a separate,
coming out? Or?
Yeah, it's a separate game. That's the thing with Mark Hamill in it.
Oh.
And John Rhys Davies.
And it's actually coming out?
Presumably.
Okay.
It seems a lot more like it's coming out than Star Citizen.
I figured that was Star Citizen.
At one point it was.
Oh my god.
They just split it off into its
that
own
was
single player.
So they made it a new thing because I remember that was the single player Star Citizen.
Yeah, it's its own thing. Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, though.
Squadron 42 is like a really bad name for a game.
It is.
And the name Star Citizen is nowhere on it for some reason. Yeah, no, this looks great.
Yeah, I might buy those.
I like... You don't see too many games where the aiming looks like that in a ship.
Right.
Honestly.
It is a lot like...
Freelancer?
Freelancer, yeah.
And another big wish from our community was that we have more spaceships. So in the original Everspace, there were only four
Speedy! That's how you avoid missiles coming after you.
Whoa.
That's cool. Is this Ratchet and Clank? Man, day 3 is already going way better than day 1. How did day 2 go? Did anyone check it out? I still haven't.
I watched a tiny bit of the interview. They actually have an interview with Denny Harakafi about the Samurai Samurai Jack.
Jack Samurai. You're killing me, man. Skeleton Jack Samurai.
Yeah, I know.
So this is why we came up with a modular design approach.
I didn't have to watch much of it.
Now, if you do these modular,
people were saying day 2 was bad, but it also had Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I don't think anything else came out of that show.
That those spaceships doesn't look like just generic ships. So we came up with a certain set
It's funny that we said day 1 was better than that inside Xbox thing because both of those are so far away from that PS5.
Yeah, no, there's no competition there. It's just so bad.
This is like a light, a medium, or a heavy fighter.
Man, I wonder if this is coming out on anything other than PC because it looks really good.
You end up with then. It seems like almost like an endless combination in a way.
Yeah, theoretically you have an endless amount of configurations, but so what we did is like we said. So what is really designing the characters?
Do you think Nina Struthers shows up here?
Which is basically the wings. So
I'm not gonna put that much hope in that.
She sneaks into this thing too.
Yeah.
That really
she pretends to be a developer.
Yeah, no, her bombing something like this would be hilarious, but I don't think they'd do it.
I'm still fucked up that
she's too big for this.
Yeah, maybe she'll show up future games show.
It is the future. She showed up at PS5, the future of gaming,
yes.
which gave me a stroke. I was like, oh god, she did promise the future's future.
Yeah, I think if they're on top of it, they get in that.
That'd be really good.
Change little things on the wingtips and those kind of things.
That's awesome. I actually, in the middle
so,
of that, when we went through this,
what's the name of the person who was one of the creative directors over at Ghostwire Tokyo?
Ikumi
Nakamura?
I think that's right, yeah.
That sounds close. Do you think the Devolver Digital Conference is her battling Nina Struthers?
To the other, is this
the two most powerful women in gaming?
Jesus.
Oh
Amy
my God.
Amy Hennig in the background, just like What about me? Anyone? Please? Can I just ship a game?
No.
I'm imagining some bit where she's just sitting there the whole time, and then she just busts out a gun and kills Nina. And then leaves. Doesn't say anything.
She just does one of those poses from one of the conferences, but she has guns in her hands now, so she just shoots like that.
Some ludonarrative dissonance.
So we have more detail. There's more stuff within each location that you can do. So basically,
I wonder if she's working on anything now.
Hennig?
Yeah.
If you're strong enough, if you're good enough, because
She sounds so burned out every time.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. She just leaves the.
She got screwed
after.
2 times in a row, yeah.
Yeah, like didn't get the released games either of those times.
And that was like 7 years of her life gone.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of high-level stuff will totally kick your ass. No, I love that. So speaking of which, let's talk about the content.
No, that doesn't count, Hobie Bryant.
What sort of additions have you made since
Maybe maybe Square secretly hired her on and is making new Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
That would be a best case scenario. Just give her Soul Reaver back.
Right?
Oh man, why did you have to say that? I know the world's not that kind.
I know.
Hey Dan, psychic vampire games. Whoa! Directed by people who shipped really good single player games. Whoa!
God,
We're sorry about that multiplayer game. Thank you.
I can't even imagine a version of Soul Reaver which, with the understanding of making a game that comes from doing something like Uncharted,
Right.
like where it's actually properly progressing you in
cutscenes segue in and out of gameplay and proper narrative.
And there's not puzzles that seem like they're made by insane people. Oh, you didn't think of this exact thing I thought of while looking at this tiny corner?
Oh,
weirdo.
You should have known to shift worlds while standing in that one position and then do the longest double jump possible.
But then you can individually change the characteristics of that spaceship by assigning.
Somebody in chat said, Twisted Sin said, "Hey Square, give Bluepoint the job." Yeah, no, if Bluepoint made a Dark Soul or a Soul Reaver,
Again,
that'd be cool.
I'd much rather have something new because Bluepoint kind of remakes stuff.
Oh no! The implication was something new, but
okay. Because I was like, I was just saying, those games are a mess.
Yeah, no, they suck. Like, as someone who loves them in every way except for mechanics, let's just say that's going to be an Avenging My Youth where I'm bashing my head against a brick wall.
No, that's like, you have to have the guide open.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only way to play it. It's so bad. And the guide better be a YouTube video of someone doing it.
It's full release, and that is scheduled for late 2021.
Professor Bad Vibes, I know Deep Down is a Capcom game that got announced at the beginning of a generation and they canceled it, but I can't remember them doing that for PS3. Do you remember an early
I think
PS3
the only thing they announced
360
early
game?
PS3 was Devil May Cry 4.
But they didn't cancel it.
Yeah, they didn't cancel it, so I don't...
I mean, they had a lot more announced than that. They had Lost Planet, Devil May Cry 4. They shipped a lot of games. Dead Rising.
Yeah?
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think of a single one they canceled.
Right, so I don't know if there's any worry for that new thing being canceled. Like, the Capcom's in a real good state now.
Also, that thing's clearly in-game graphics. It has some weird fucking shading issues.
Yeah, just look at her hair.
Also, her hair.
It's okay, she's a robot. It's supposed to look bad.
Twisted Sin asks, do I think at the end of this year or next year Sony will buy Bluepoint? I think once they ship, like, that game, that's a good opportunity for them to be like, okay, they can do this.
Yeah, it'd be great if... I'm surprised they haven't,
And the
honestly.
internet's clamoring for them to remaster 2 other games.
That we own, yes.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring the same tactical and lore-filled gameplay to console in a way that seemed more than just a simple port. In Mechanicus, you take control of the most
Mechanicus? Is that what he said?
I think so. Man, these are some weird character designs. They look like they're from a comic book from like the early 90s. Something that reminds me of toys from back then that came with comics.
Discover long-forgotten tech and control your tech priest's every move as you battle your Xenos enemy. We wanted to deliver these mechanics in a way that stayed true to the IP and brought Mechanicus
I,
and the world of 40,000 together seamlessly.
I'm just looking at it and my brain keeps going, worst case scenario, what is this? And I'm like, codename Steam.
Mechanicus is the large array of customization available to the player. We call this augmentation, and this is how you level up your tech priests. As your augment capacity increases, you can attach
Poll in
your
chat
own
ended, 70% of people think, or no, it was 90% of people think Star Citizen will finish before Yandere Simulator. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the Andre Simpler will not be finished.
I like when Vox is a mod in my channel and uses proper mod features and channel features better than I know how. She's like, I'm gonna do a poll, and I'm like, oh, cool, that I knew about that.
Yes. Man, it's General Grievous. You just have a whole army of General Grievous now to look at it. I can't deal with this.
Is there
I
a
need to
problem here? That seems ideal. Bob, they wield lightsabers and they're robots.
Very cool.
Robots wearing cool cloaks. It's very cool aesthetic. Very.
It's really up to you.
It's really up to you. I don't care.
Mechanicus crosses the paths of the Adeptus Mechanicus and Necrons like no other game, and was written especially by Ben Counter, one of Black Library's most prestigious authors. You are tasked with defeating the Necron forces laying dormant on the planet of Silver Tenebris. By searching the Necron tombs, you will uncover STC fragments, which you can use to upgrade your tech.
I'm gonna be honest. As of late, I've been more confident than ever that Star Citizen will ship. It's probably still like 3 years out though.
I really want to see that part that has like Mark Hamill and John Rhys Davis.
They have trailers and stuff.
Yeah, no,
and other things.
I've seen like super early stuff. Is there anything like are
there was stuff that was put out last year?
Okay.
All encounters begin with a deployment stage.
Also, who knows? We'll probably see that by the end of the PC Gamer Show.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
true. There's a good chance.
It's gonna launch alongside Dead Island 2.
I think it's gonna ship before Dead Island 2, gonna be honest.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, Dan. There's rumors that we're gonna see a re-announcement of Dead Island 2 real soon. That might be at the PC Gaming Show.
I think Squadron 42 is gonna launch, just to be clear, before Dead Island 2.
Okay.
I don't know about...
You reminded me of a... I was thinking about bits in my head. I'm like, Dead Island 2 has been acquired by Microsoft.
This is the cognition point.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
dude,
we're
they
gonna...
make a nation's worth of money at this point, I think, so that won't happen.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm sorry. I was thinking Star Citizen. I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we were talking about Dead Island 2. I was like, does Bob think Dead Island 2 is made by the people who made Payday? Because those guys were making bank until all of that legal shit.
Oof.
Also, yes, Asagi Ryu, we will be playing, we will be live stream commentating all of the conferences tomorrow,
Yes.
which includes the PC Gaming Show.
In Guerrilla Collective, which is real early. Like 11 in the morning for us. It's gonna be rough.
Oh!
We had to improvise.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either, Casey, so I'm where you are mentally.
We could always skip it and just be like, we're starting at the PC Gaming Show. It's like 1 p.m.
As well as new locations, we also
It might be noon. It's one of those two.
Characters and bosses, some of which are available at the
So I think Microsoft can still win.
Oh yeah?
How can Microsoft still win, KZ? Go.
Well, it's simple. AT&T said they want to sell off Warner Brothers games, so Microsoft can just buy them.
Then they'll have one studio.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If they did that, I would be happy for them. I would be ecstatic.
They would all. They would also have to put a lot because apparently they're valuing Warner Brothers games at $4 billion.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't you? They turned out some, like, those Arkham games are fucking blockbusters. They probably sold over $4 billion worth of copies.
Also, Injustice and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I was like, don't they own Mortal Kombat, guys? Like, isn't that all part of one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, those are incredibly major. I hope that
I don't
Microsoft
want-
doesn't buy it just because
I don't want Mortal Kombat to be exclusive to a platform.
Right,
I
like,
could
that
take
seems
the
weird.
Arkham games being that.
Right.
If they got
I-
the same budget and
I
knocked
think-
it out of the park.
then they could have their Batman to rival Sony's Spider-Man.
See, isn't that great? It's beautiful.
Your job will be to stop them before they corrupt you and your ship from within. But the
I'm just thinking about how much I like Spider-Man more than any of those Arkham games.
Also packed for the console version. This gives
Apparently,
access to the
Take-Two,
stunning
EA, and Activision already interested in maybe picking them up.
That makes sense. They
Man,
we were just going
Take-Two would be
over.
way better than fucking EA.
Most of them have the proclivity to just shove in a ton of microtransactions and stuff, but I feel like
EA has the proclivity to fuck every game.
Yeah, that's true.
Period. Take-Two shipped the game that anyone liked.
Injustice 3 on Frostbite.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
EA's
no.
so bad.
Every
They're
time-
fucking in the doghouse until they ship at least 3 great games.
Right, I want to believe that they're on a turnaround, but I doubt it.
And stay safe.
What convinced you of that, Anthem?
No. The only thing that even giving me the micron of hope is the Command & Conquer remake. That's it.
I mean, yes,
They
no,
got-
that's great. Vox has been playing that over on her channel for anyone who's interested in that. It's pretty cool. I really wish they would give you an option to leave the original videos in there, because I don't like the machine learning upscaled stuff, but that game's incredible. Like, that remaster is so good.
They got the Command and Conquer remaster. I enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order. I'm looking forward to them doing another one of those.
Yeah, and they didn't force that to be on Frostbite. That helps.
Yep, they threw the Respawn guy and said, "You're also leading this studio. Make something new there too."
That's the scary thing, though. That reminds me of some of the at GameStop for a while there. We had this thing called SM2, where the store manager manages 2 stores and wants to die.
Of course.
I'll be excited until it looks scary. And that Need for Speed news was actually pretty exciting. Where they're like, okay, clearly all of these games suck. Give it back to the people that made one 8 years ago.
Also, didn't they say that it's going to be crossplay or something? Like they
They're
announced...
making Heat crossplay, the one that's already out.
And that's awesome. Like, that's what racing games should be.
Yeah, you need a large audience for that.
Yeah, I want to be able to do race clubs with the GigaBoots community, and it not be everyone buy this version of this game on this console.
Right. Did they announce Destiny's doing that?
Next year
they're doing cross-generational this year. So when you get your PS5, they should have it working for PS4 to PS5, and then
next year is
sometime
crossplay.
next year they're gonna try and do all of them.
Which is great.
Yes,
That's good enough.
We really need that.
I went and actually watched that full stream, and
I need to.
they actually are like shelving some older content, but it's because they're like, our game is huge already, and we really don't want to make a Destiny 3.
That's good. I want them to do that eventually, but I don't think they need to rush into it.
Yeah, I'd love to have a clean break at some point.
Fox says Console Watch 2020 upsets me so much. You think it upsets you now? Listen to Ryan McCaffrey express opinions. Then you'll be upset.
Yeah, no, the console watch thing is like I was going over last time we did it. It feels really gross.
It sounds like something like me and Aggro would do as a fake gaming show.
Yes.
Where we would just state insane opinions. Where he's the Xbox guy who just patently is lying.
Yeah, he's just patently lying. Maybe even suggesting that the Xbox kills people. And that's good.
Nintendo Switch version.
Oh
I don't want to be mean.
God! Why would you
I don't want to be
this?
mean, but God, yikes!
I
after
thought that-
Tony Hawk.
I just every time you see an abomination of like this, you just gotta think someone on Twitter wouldn't shut up about Switch ports, so this had to come into creation.
I honestly thought that the video wasn't loading in right for a minute.
No, you're seeing the full frame rate. You're seeing the full graphics. You play as a Clayman.
There is no engage the next gen graphics here. Stop clipping.
This is nuts, Jesus. I actually yesterday, not much of an anecdote, but I think it's worth sharing, especially during this moment. Yesterday I remembered the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster was happening. I just smiled.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's really great.
I was like, yeah,
Thank God.
what a good year. I get a PS5 at the end of the year and a Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remaster. That's
Yeah, PS5 was a
At,
new
at any
Spider-Man
point in time, they
game.
can sneak up on you and stab you with the demo.
oh,
Oh,
that'll
yeah,
be good. I'll be like, oh, thank you, I'm bleeding.
That'd be nice.
Awesome. I can't wait for that.
Brian, are you okay? You seem
wait
to
for
be
that.
disappearing into the macro block.
I know it's obviously escape.
Now
but-
they're asking you, why do companies trying to port for the Switch fuck up so bad? Is it the companies porting it fucking up, or is it the machine that's being ported to?
Like, you need to understand, every time you see a great looking or even a good looking Switch port, that is being made by the John Carmacks of today. They will never be as famous as John Carmack because they're the John Carmacks of today, and that's how history works. They were in the industry 20 years ago, 30 years ago, doing what they're doing today. They would be absolute legends in the future. But instead, they're just going to be, those guys did a really great job of bringing over The Witcher. No, instead it's
Those
just
panic button guys, pretty good.
like fucking wizards over there. Like, when people bring up the hacked analysis tools for the Switch to show the CPU utilization and the GPU utilization, they are hitting the Switch harder than many Nintendo titles.
Yeah, these games aren't designed, like games in general are not designed with the scope the Switch can handle.
And
Like-
man, is that gonna get worse with the next gen? It's literally 8% as powerful.
Yeah.
It is less powerful than the power gap between consoles. It is half of the power
it
gap.
really hit me hard when we were just talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, that Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, that we sure did just see. We sure did see them go through load multiple worlds instantly.
No, Casey, it wasn't real. And if it was, it wasn't impressive.
I can't believe Dan is getting excited for squeeze throughs.
That was the most insane thing on Dan. That has to be your selection for Reply of the Week. That's insane. That's absolute madness. It's like, what are they talking
Not gonna
about?
lie, they tagged me in it, so you have to. It made me upset as well. I had to read it as well.
I think like a really great
A Voxander says, "Wait, what reply?" Someone added me with in response to the Ratchet and Clank thing, where you're constantly changing worlds, like entire worlds,
Yeah,
like in a second
Because it
and a
was on
half.
the stream. It was you screaming about the SSD.
Somebody replied, "Never thought I'd see the day where Dan was excited about squeeze throughs," and I'm like, squeeze throughs are to get to the other side of a crevice that is in the same world that has like a fancy graphic a lot of the time. Like, how many times have you played a game, you go through a squeeze through, and then a burning ship or something comes down, and you look over to the right where it landed, but it's still largely the same assets,
Right. Like, there's 10,000 of those in Final Fantasy VII, and there's almost nothing on the other side of them sometimes.
The equivalent would be this escape thing. To get to the other side, there's a giant wall that materializes in the middle of this parking lot.
Yes.
And then you have to take 15 seconds to get to the other side of a parking lot, compared to, we designed a video game where there are 18 fucking planets in one sequence.
Yeah, no, and the best part is damn well that's them showcasing that ability, but when you go to change planets, you're just going to use that portal gun. you're never gonna see your ship take off. You're never gonna.
Yeah, because
You're not gonna see this 20, like Aggro was saying, this 20-second animation of your ship flying.
Yeah, no, the thought that we're going to be past that's kind of insane.
I really hope the Tony Hawk game works correctly to do similarly fast loading,
Oh,
because it'll be the first time in Tony Hawk history.
yeah.
Hyper fast retrying.
Oh my god, those trees loading is really good.
It is really good.
There's like 2
The
layers.
fact that it spawn your characters with that little location thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
See, I'm numb. I watch Rad Rat videos on YouTube. That guy's the skating channel, so he checks in on Skater XL and other stuff pretty frequently. So I'm numb. I'm like, yeah, it's a GPS marker where you spawn. What?
Yeah, this game is, every time I see it here and on there, it's kind of rough. Like, this is the game where half pipe don't work right yet, and yet they've released it.
It's like he hit you in the face.
So yeah, I'm sad. Skater XL makes me sad.
That looked wrong.
Yeah.
And one of the things you've done here to ensure that is you
Um,
all of the security guards who are
So this is why when we're talking about these next-gen consoles and the Xbox Fanatics, and I'm specifically talking about the Fanatics, right?
Uh-huh.
They're like,
Look at this graph.
Right, they're like, here's the spec sheet that has patently false numbers. Yeah, that's this game in a nutshell.
Okay.
Oh no, don't use that as a half pipe. It doesn't work. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Stand down. Okay, good. You're using the rampish part. That worked okay.
That looked better than I saw it work on that demo from a couple days ago, yeah.
But anyway, like, they're excited about this 18% performance difference or whatever it is. 17.
Now,
I cannot express how much more excited I am and how much more exciting it seems to me to be in general. Like, I think it's really sound to be excited about the concept of loading times are fucking dead. You can get in and out of a fighting game like that.
Yeah.
You can load your Tony Hawk levels instantly. Every game under the sun benefits from that.
Yeah, there's
like
so many times, like this gen, I've started thinking about a lot more because we heard about this whole next-gen SSD technology.
Yeah.
It makes you think. It makes you think every time. That's why it's the meme that we have of, oh man, can't wait for the PS5.
Right.
Because it's all you can think about now, just like every time loading gets in the way of content.
Because, like, if Kingdom Hearts 3 had a true 4K image on the PS4 Pro,
uh-huh,
that would not be anywhere near as impressive compared to what you already have than it loading in a second.
Yeah.
But anyway.
If you can just, if you could just go to, God, please. If you could go to Ratchet 2.
Also, there's the patch installs, as Lil Gamba brings up, and how it's just done.
Every time we see...
I'm so numb to this game. You two are chuckling, and I'm like, that's the game! Like, I'm so fucking numb.
You're like, I've engaged with garbage.
I've engaged with this.
You know, it's much more like learning to play a musical instrument than it is unlocking some challenge designed into...
Engage with, not engage to.
There was a well-known control Ubisoft who did some great GDC talks some time back.
Real reason I played so much Splatoon, I hated loading that
really
first time.
with us is that there's something about...
So you never turn it off. If you never turn off Splatoon, it'll never need to do that initial load ever again. That's smart. That's
you see, if Splatoon was on PS5, she'd play it low.
Oh man, Casey, please don't give me impossible.
yeah, no, that's disgusting to even think about. Oh man,
Couldn't they at least put Ninjala on PS5, please?
In theory, yeah, and they should, honestly. Just because, you know, you can improve things like netcode.
It's more an extension of you. You know, it's kind of like
input latency.
If you do happen to play an instrument,
I swear to
and play the same
Brian, please.
Yes, why, Brian? You just turned into mush.
He also looks really upset.
Put style into what you're doing, and you know.
Oh, I was looking at the middle guy. Yeah, Brian Altano is a macro block. His head isn't moving, just his face and eyes are. This is horrifying.
This is great. Coming in by a Game Boy Advance video.
This is bad. We really shouldn't have encoded this on a SpongeBob cartridge.
We gotta put it on the GBA.
Is Brian Altano dead and this is just a machine learning AI representation of him nodding and
I love it.
Talking?
You sort of put that in there that, you know, it does feel more like a music.
I think the DMT is about to hit.
That means it's going to take a long time.
Doug Bowser, as imagined through the lens of dreams. Brian Altano.
People are looking for right now. They want something they can really dig their teeth into. Hopefully, you don't have to wait for a long time.
Come on.
To play this game because it's
Come on, Chad. Brian looks like a Fallout 2 NPC. It's a deep fake.
It's a deep fake, yeah, absolutely. PlayAsia put up a placeholder pre-order for the PS5.
Oh yeah,
$700.
Jesus,
there's
no way.
I'll buy 600 in a worst case scenario.
That's because there were placeholders on Amazon like a few days ago.
Yeah.
There were also that.
You know, growing all around the world.
Yeah, if they have the confidence to release at 700, they're insane. Like that's just straight up.
Yeah, no.
PS3 era Sony again.
Yeah, and I see people in chat being like, "I'll never be able to afford a PS5. It's probably going to be $800." And I'm like, "No. At highest, it's 600." I genuinely believe Sony wants to stick a knife into Microsoft at 450.
Yeah, I mean, the
but it's
bill of
most likely
materials came out to
500.
like 470 or something.
Yeah,
Sony can be on some crazy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But I think even PS3 era Sony, if they existed now, in the world that is happening now, we can't go at $700.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people when they hear
Global
PS3 Sony, they think they charged a lot for a console. Actually, they lost $200 on every PS3.
Yep.
So PS3 Sony in modern day would actually be charging us $400, which if they did, Microsoft would see the number in the lower left Yu-Gi-Oh style and it would just fly down.
Right. God, if they release it at 400, like, oh yeah, it's like the Pro. It's a new version.
If they release it at 400, we as a community need to shame every game journalist acting like that was expected. Because they're going to do it. They already did it last year. When Wired came out with those articles about the next-gen SSD technology, some journalists were sitting there being like, this is just a part of the hype cycle. Don't fall for it, you guys. This isn't that amazing. They're just doing this that way. When they charge $400, you're all amazed.
Exclusive. Here we go. Oh, this looks bad.
Why can no game look cool? This sucks.
You are Cleopatra solving crimes.
Yeah, Cleopatra investigator, PD. Oh my God, why is
Sorry,
it that?
chat, that was mean, but we had the PS5 show. My eyes have been open.
Unmask their lies.
Excuse me, do we play as Cleopatra debunking liars?
Yo! Does it run at real time and you have to do those things quickly, or?
That is a really good question. This trailer does not seem to... Lucifer Within Us?
Oh.
I'm okay with this game. I might play that.
Oh,
it seems like the fun of Detroit without the writing of David Cage.
Oh.
Hey, it's our boy!
Finally. What do you got for us?
Give us English voices.
Please.
I knew it had to be good because they had an ESRB thing.
Yeah, right. Oh,
damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh, boo.
Free English.
Okay, after launch.
Oh my God. So
man, that's weird.
Hey, maybe that means it's launching soon.
It's a stealth drop. Could you fucking
God.
imagine?
I'm gonna be real. If they're literally going dub after launch, I will actually wait.
I'll buy it now and wait.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'll buy it now, but I'll wait to actually play it because I can't.
Yeah,
I can only play so many.
Man, this is. I actually haven't seen the artwork animate in this game.
It is really nice.
It looks real good.
Yes.
Sci-fi fangirl.
She's like, I don't have pants.
Yeah.
Oh,
Punch girls.
I was horny right now.
Breezy Playboy.
Yeah.
He's not wearing shorts. How can he be breezy?
Seeker of answers.
Oh, he's very cool.
Look at her honker.
Got a lot of answers.
Everyone's like, man, our car's cool. Okay, September. Okay.
It's not gonna, whatever. As long as they make it dub eventually.
Please.
Exclusive reveal.
God, it's coming to the States. I really wish that thing said that we're getting dragons, whatever. Ooh, what's...
It's PSO2.
Sonic Episode 4, Volume 3.
Yes!
Sonic 4, Episode 4? Wait, we skipped 3?
Yeah, this is those robots you play as. Dramatic.
Yep.
They're upset about having to kill their own kind.
So
I
this
was
is
hearing
PSO2.
stuff about how they're planning on putting this to other PC platforms soon. Can't imagine why.
I almost said, what the fuck does that mean? And then I remembered the situation at hand.
Don't worry, in the big think notes I put real PC platforms.
Is this really PSO? This seems weird.
Yeah, this is episode 4 of it. I'm only sure of it because I saw a Gamatsu thing that said PSO2 episode 4 is coming soon.
It's hilarious, like, it's not launched yet. We're getting episode 4?
Bob had a funny experience playing PSO2 and realizing,
Oh yeah, it's just literally Destiny. The Destiny is just PSO. It's real funny.
I was like, yeah, people told me that back in the day. I believed them. But it's really funny hearing you have this epiphany way later.
I think during that Phil Spencer interview with Gerstmann, when they first announced that this was coming over, finally, he was like, and I was like, PSO predates Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah.
Oh man. August 2020 for Xbox One PC. Get it from Microsoft.
Oh, thank God.
And more PC platforms soon.
Just give me a dip of the PlayStation version, please.
No.
Assembly's award-winning strategy series. You know, one day when I grow up, I hope to too become an award-winning strategy series. Until then,
Why did I listen to you? Why did I for a second make that mistake?
You're like, I can't interrupt him.
I'm like, he's gonna tell me some important detail that I'll need to know later. No, he'll fill my brain with what he thinks is good writing.
I really want to play that Fuse game. They keep showing. It looks great.
Tired of watching IGN on those tiny cell phones and tablets?
See, so Umbron, you can't consider.
I watch IGN on tablets.
You can't consider Stadia a PC platform because it runs in a server blade, so it's not a personal computer.
And it's on Linux.
You can consider Linux personal computer.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
The part where it is a server rack.
Thank you, Blubber Buddy, for the 5 gift subs.
Holy shit. I looked down for 1 second. That was 7, actually.
Oh, shit.
Nice. They've gifted 7 total. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Thank you, Blubber Buddy. So you're saying Stadia is an impersonal computer. This sounds savage, but I think calling it a computer is overselling it, honestly.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this on Big Thing too, but I want to bring it up now since we're talking about Stadia. Isn't it hilarious that the Gods and Monsters got leaked?
It was a year-old demo! That's the fucked up thing.
Yeah, then
Stadia just had a year-old demo for Gods and Monsters lying around.
Yeah, they just let people play it.
They're like,
and then it came out like, yeah, that game's gonna be re-announced soon with a new name. It's like, what?
Oopsie. Man, wasn't it cool how all of those PS5 games looked vastly better than that Inside Xbox thing that one of the IGN fucks said would be what we should expect from next gen?
Yeah, there wasn't this single thing that looked as bad as that Xbox show. That's insane. Like, there were tons of indie games, and they look better than anything in Xbox.
We
show.
had 60 frame per second games, and they look better.
Yeah.
Which is our first ever series of IGN Expos, where you'll get first looks at world premiere game trailers, exclusive game demos, and interviews you won't find anywhere else.
Wow. But yeah, I wonder when we'll see more Scarlet Nexus.
IGN 1 on Samsung TV.
I wonder if we'll see that before the more Tales of Arise.
Yeah, Gaius, it was apparently a old demo of Gods and Monsters intended for, I guess, testing.
Welcome back to IGN
And then it leaked.
Gaming. Hey, you know what's more fun than a wooden horse full of sweaty dudes with swords? Total War Troy. Let's toss a Damon for a closer look.
Whoever's writing these needs to be shot with a gun.
I worry they don't even have writers. They just like come up with something on the fly.
No, that's just constructed enough.
I'm joined by senior game designer
Do you have any idea how afraid I was she was going to interview this dude about Total War?
Oh, that would have been...
So are Greeks, like, real?
I'm so relieved it's just the guy who didn't know how Resident Evil 2 worked.
Is this like that movie 300? Yes. It is exactly like 300.
Oh, this is the one that's exclusive to Epic Game Store for a year. And free for day one.
Yeah, it's not only that this is the first
Man,
time
these Total
that,
War games look really cool.
set in this era, but
Yeah, it's pretty
actually
crazy.
The first time that we go so much back in time, all the way to the Bronze Age.
So what are the two sides that are at war here? I mean, obviously, we know, but sort of set it up for the version that you're going to be showing us.
Well, the game is inspired by Homer's epic, the Iliad and the Odyssey. So
because we watched that thing about was it Dwarf Dungeon?
Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a version of one of these games where every little tiny thing is incredibly well detailed. Like, oh yeah, the arrow hit that one guy in your soldier group. Now he's got a limp for life, and that's going to affect your army in general.
Man, yeah. It would be really incredible if we could get Dwarf Fortress, you know, like that level of simulation up to anything.
Yeah.
Like 3D. KZ, did you watch that no-clip documentary on Dwarf Fortress?
I did not.
Do you know what Dwarf Fortress is?
Yeah, it's that game with all, like, with the minimalist, like, graphics and stuff.
Yeah, it's got ASCII art, but it's simulated down to the point where, what was it? Dwarfs kept drinking at a bar, and then they would throw the glass over. Development in progress. Sorry, had to. Anyway, they'd be in the pub drinking beer, and when they would get called off to do a task, they would just toss it over their shoulder, and it would shatter on the ground, getting alcohol over the ground. This was reported as a bug, where all these cats kept dying in this pub. So when they went to investigate why, it's because the cats would walk into the pub, soak up their feet, and then clean themselves and get outrageously drunk and die on the floor. So it's just every pub in Dwarf Fortress was covered in dead cats.
Like the food will be used to support your.
They're like, yeah, we just put the cleaning system in after we got eyelids working. I was like, what the fuck is this game?
Right? Like, what he was describing was so insane that I was like, what do you mean that they need to come up with eyelids?
Yeah, I haven't checked in on the game in like 5 years. I don't think eyelids existed 5 years ago, so blowing my ass out.
Our representation of the gods at the time.
The gods.
Because
The
as you
gods.
probably
The
know,
gods.
the people at the time in the Bronze Age were
For some reason, I'm just thinking Chad Warden. That Digital Foundry video fucked me up.
I was just thinking of
Sup,
the Bears.
Sup, bitch.
something, but
We got that
they
PS
thought the gods,
quintuple.
walk among them, and they all sought the favor of the gods in one way or another. And we have also represented that into Total War Troy, where you, as the player, choosing your nation, can choose a god and or maybe more than one, and try to gain his or her favor. And that will lead
Is that a
to
thing they're
lots of
intending,
benefits
Caskin?
inside the game, like in the battle or
I hadn't seen that.
campaign.
I knew they were adding like a little bit better graphics, but
Oh, there's a new release they're doing on Steam.
yeah, that's what Caskin was talking about. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
I think that itch.io bundle's still up.
Yes.
The one that's 1,600 games for at least $5.
I find out new games that I've bought already from random YouTubers and other people on Twitter frequently now. It's like, because I bought that bundle, it's like, Celeste is cool, then I installed 2 other games, and I'm like, these are really bad.
So you need to filter.
I need to filter. I need to...
If only somebody out there was doing some sort of series where they went through all 1,600 games and told you what was good. It would only take the rest of this year if they did over 5 games a day.
Right? That's all.
That sounds like an idea.
There was some other actually really... Because Celeste is one of the biggest ones in there, but there's some other like really big indie game.
Yeah, no, there's some really noteworthy stuff. That one game from the people who made...
of the Total War Saga Troy. Obviously,
Shit.
some of them are no-brainers. So
Bastion.
because you can't have the Trojan War
That's what I was looking for. Pyre?
Yeah, Pyre's in there.
I need to...
That's
now I can find
how
the
I
Pyre.
that's how I saw it and then decided to buy it.
Because of Paris, who's also into the game.
I wanted to try that
Super
game.
Giant.
So we've tried to
Yeah,
pick
Super
the
Giant,
ones that
yeah.
were most how should I put it?
I need to buy Hades
most
at some point.
influential to the war and most
I'm just waiting for next week because the Steam sale starts.
well as offered
I'm just
So-
waiting for Hades to come out on
gameplay mechanics.
Anything.
a platform I tend to play instead of PC.
Yeah, that's fair.
People are like, why do you hate PC gaming? And it's like, I don't hate PC gaming. It has problems. Also, I don't PC game that much because I'm working on shit all the time.
Right, if your PC literally needs to be able to start rendering something, you can't be like, well, I'll play a game while it renders.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't how this works.
Also, my free time comes while it's rendering
Yeah.
a lot of the time, or while Auphonic is processing our audio.
Yeah. So what we are doing is one of
Be
our
honest, Dan,
design
should we
goals
purchase the
is to show
1,600
what
plus
is
game
the
bundle
true
for $5? I bought it for 10 because the money's going to the charity.
Yeah, I did the same. I was like, sure. It's a good cause.
We know
For
that
once.
every myth and every legend
What do you-
is probably embedded in
I
some sort of
just-
event or something that really happened. So we try to unravel the mysteries of time and see what could
And yeah, there's a
actually
ton of
have
games in there. I'm sure you'll find
inspired,
something. If nothing else,
stuff
Celeste
like
is there.
Yeah,
And
I mean, Celeste is worth
one of the
checking
ways
out
we do
for
that
sure.
is, like, with the
I'm not even a huge fan, but it's worth $5.
units that you can recruit in your
Like,
armies.
Theo was saying that it was
One of the
amazing
units
and like one of the best
we,
platformers he's
show
played.
in
So
our footage is the
So there
movie.
you go. You'll end up
Who
somewhere
is
between really
like a
solid
real
and
mentor who
that.
has
and I'm like, I like Messenger more. I wonder if Messenger just
this huge
It might be.
thing of a
It's
man
1,600
with
fucking
a
games.
Right?
Bless you.
bull
Thanks.
skull on top of
What do
his
you mean?
head to scare off enemies wielding
No,
a
it does
large
not
hand
connect to your
axe.
Steam
And
because
he's probably
bundles
got
on
some
itch.io
kind
don't
of
do that, which is how they can afford to.
incorporate
Yeah, it's
to
just
do that.
It's DRM
It's just
free.
it's
It would just-
DRM free. It's on itch.io.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I hadn't had a game like that in a very long time where you just
Back in the old days,
yeah.
games for PC used to just fucking have an installer and run.
Yes.
It's that.
A lot of them I was playing didn't even install. It's like, okay,
Ran
boot
out
it.
of the
Yeah, just-
unzipped folder, yeah.
unzip it and then just play it.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, that's always good. Typical boomer Dan having a knowledge of history.
Well, PC gaming didn't start till 2008.
Yeah, when Steam launched.
Didn't really happened in that
Did
era.
did the orange box
Some
come out
people would
before
say and
that?
believe that they're one
The what?
horse.
2000
On
And
Xbox.
that's how we have represented the
Yeah,
sidebar, for
yeah.
example, in Total War Troy.
Absolutely.
That's a really cool way to sort of represent the myths of the time. Tell us about how the divine wills work.
I'll play one of these
Well,
Rome
as I
games at
said
some point.
previously, the player
You mean
has
Total
access
War
to a
games.
Total War
social
games, yeah.
system, which is the divine wheel system.
I
Yeah,
never,
no, this
for some
seems really
reason,
cool.
Before that, we have to do our death
And
stream
in
of
the Trojan
Civilization
War, the
6.
gods
I'm
Right.
absolutely for that.
according to Omer, to activate
Good.
Doing a large multiplayer match of Civ 6 for an entire fucking day sounds hilarious.
just like, please, just go. I don't care what you do. Do something. End your turn.
Stuff in the game, depending on what god you want to appease.
But yeah, something about controlling, like instead of controlling individual units, you control like a giant mass at a time. Put me off, but I feel like I can get into it.
Gods that you choose to be aligned with, and depending on which gods you choose, you're going to get different types of benefits into the game. Like for
I'm just
example,
scrolling through this
who is the god
this
of
giant
war,
bundle of
will,
games
of
because
course,
I hadn't really looked
choose
at it.
much better
Yeah.
in battle.
There's a lot of
Appeasing,
games I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
Yeah, itch.io's that.
Yeah, it's a bunch of things that
It's
are.
a really good source for what indie hell.
The archer's
You're right. I just seeing someone who just ripped off the Persona 5 look on that one.
I think Defeat's platformer was from that. We did a one indie hell on that game.
The very fact that
Okay, that's good. There's a game in here called Ripped Pants at Work.
Yeah, I've heard of that game, yeah.
It's a stealth game.
I also lived that game.
You did.
Total War Troy is looking very cool. What's the release plan? Is it still on track to be released this year?
We will be announcing a release date really soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Okay.
What's up,
Oh,
Chris?
this is pre-recorded, I guess, because they've announced the release date for this.
Yeah, those bits are pre-recorded. It's these bits.
Right? Is it do you expect them to be up to date with when this released?
You're right.
Oh yeah, check out this game with Tom Marks.
Oh, Marks, you're awful.
Under the radar games worth your attention. This time we've got an exclusive look at Unto the End, a side-scrolling action platformer about a father fighting to try to get back to his family. With combat.
This is why I hate IGN personalities. They come off as GameStop TV.
Yeah.
Like they're the TV in the corner of a GameStop that's screaming at me to buy a thing with the least likable people I've ever had to deal with.
The newest set, which is maybe the final set, I don't know how bad COVID has hit that. Of hosts actually got decent. They're better than these IGN guys. It's really bad.
Oh, that's
Why does he always have bow ties as part of his brand?
Yeah, it sure is.
Because I think the newest set's literally just, we got these 3 streamers. They're okay.
Remember, everyone, a bow tie is no replacement for a personality.
Yeah, no, that's... Man. Bad.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Bad.
Not really much here for me.
We're in Newgrounds.
I tend to not say that because I've heard people say that about the most asinine shit.
Yeah.
I've heard people say about, like, contenders for Game of the Year, that game would have been free on Newgrounds 10 years ago.
Yeah, I've heard it used in that way too, but something about this, like when...
Oh no, I absolutely agree with you with the Newgrounds-like energy.
Yeah, I get it. I'll never say
the way the enemies sound and the impact and the way the blood's there reminds me of some stuff from Newgrounds.
Be sure to keep your donations to the Bail Project and World Health Organization coming, and don't forget to follow IGN on TikTok and search for IGN's Summer of Gaming hashtag.
Thorfeb says if you see a dude wearing a bow tie and he isn't a professor or a senior, you should call the FBI.
Anyway, later
I agree with that.
He's the professor of video games at IGN.
But up next, Blue Fire is a gorgeous new 3D platformer that turns players loose in a desolate kingdom filled with mysterious perils.
Please buy a teleprompter.
Behold!
Sometimes the most challenging opponent isn't some menacing enemy with a huge sword, but a line of tiny platforms over a bottomless pit.
Wow, the way you're moving around looks really weird and bad.
No, I love it.
Plenty of encounters with both.
I love it a lot.
On demo I played left me wanting more, and had me wishing I'd seen just
I
a
left
little
me
more
wanting
variety in
more.
these fights.
Oh my god.
That was it?
Oh my god, is it just okay. No. This is one of their preview videos that probably is already out.
Probably.
With fun traversal options to avoid dangerous pitfalls.
Dan?
Figuring out the best configuration of platforming.
This is what if a 3D platformer was Dark Souls.
Like wall running to correct a near fatal mistake. Umbra's dash mechanic was equally enticing. Holding down the button.
Why are you saying that?
But letting go early would stop my momentum completely and became essential for making precise landings. Blue Fire's reference to other action.
Just the way it moves looks
maybe
like
laying on a bit thick
wrong.
in certain areas, but the way it handles its 3D exploration and hints at other unlockable goodies appears to do an admirable job at trying to set itself apart.
It's not floaty like that.
No.
The board was an optional isolated area called a void. It transported me to a sort of challenge room. Here I was tasked to hop my way across increasingly.
No, you move way slower than that.
Floating above an abyss.
And like,
in these instances,
fine, no. It may remind you, it is nothing like this.
Landing. Failing a jump was punishing.
Why would you have white platforms floating in a white abyss?
Because they hate you. Yeah, it's the Dark Souls of platformers.
The currency was rewarded with on some of the exciting sounding upgrades that were sadly.
Oh, good, they're frame drops. I was worried.
That disappointment was an unfortunate lingering presence, but only because this demo ended far too soon.
It'll be better on PS5.
Since I couldn't unlock upgrades or fight against anything but a few groups of basic enemies, I found myself restarting the demo just to get more chances to experiment. Umber can swing incredibly fast and hard, taking out most of these foes before they could do much in return.
At this point, it would be like if the Giant Bomb had a game expo and then they just played those radio plugs that Gershman makes for like foreign radio.
Yeah.
And would have loved a bigger encounter to put that thought to the test.
Yeah, but he has charisma. I could take that.
Right, that would be funny. In fact, during a recent Giant Bomb cast, they just like, hey, you have like 20 seconds to give us your take on this game. And he's like, oh, I literally wrote that if you want me to read it. They're like, yeah, absolutely. And then he did it, and it was like, I love this. Why don't you do this more often? I guess what I'm trying to say is I really just want to watch the I just want to watch a gaming podcast where it's them being like those snippets, like short GameStop TV sort of, or GameSpot TV reviews. Where it's just a really short scripted thing, nonstop, and that's how everyone communicates. I don't.
Hey, look who's here. It's us again.
Hey, look who's here. It's us. The stars of the show.
World Health Organization and Bail Project to combat COVID-19 and reunite.
Man, Dumb and Dumber 3 looks weird.
You can find out more or give at donate.ign.com or by following.
Like, what else is even planned for today on this thing? Let me see.
Follow IGN and search for IGN Summer of Gaming hashtag. You can upload your own.
I can't get mad at them being here. This is literally their show.
They should have hired anyone else.
People dancing and doing lip syncing and all sorts of nonsense.
All sorts of various.
I don't think they can get that done.
Labor is difficult under normal circumstances.
Maybe if they just made one big event instead of trying to spread it over 3 days.
I've been to space.
Like, they don't have enough content for that.
Kroby Cat's gonna have a field day this E3.
Yes.
Here's a game that might give you a better idea. It's called Hard Space Shipbreaker, and it's up next. And it sounded like a curse, but it wasn't.
Oh, Hard Space. I thought you said Hard Space.
Hard Space Shipbreaker.
Hard
Space. Here to show you our next ship class, the Gecko. Now, geckos are
Total War, we've seen that. There's going to be something with Warhammer 40k.
Mm-hmm.
This particular Gecko is an industrial
Chicken Police.
ship with minimal crew and a large.
And it looks like we've seen everything else.
Today we're going to be completing the work.
People are gonna leave.
Oh no, I'm sorry. There's other stuff. There's one more thing that I won't say then.
Oh, okay. There's a secret thing.
There's a secret thing
that people could see on the schedule if they looked it up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go into our Discord and see it.
KZ, did you see that tweet between me and Zorfab's girlfriend on Twitter?
So we're not draining our oxygen.
I'm about to.
We get a lay of the land.
Oh man, this is really good.
I'm gonna give it a nice, good old review here.
Twitter decided to show me something she tweeted because Zorfab liked it, and I was like, this is too funny, I have to.
Some things we should probably keep an eye on that. Now the coolant comes from the Environmental Control Unit, or ECU, which is coming from the room right now. And in this room, we've got the power generator that sends power throughout the ship. We'll come back to this in a
What a tweet to come into.
It keeps the reactor from melting down. As soon as we sever the coolant line from that reactor, it's gonna become unstable. So we should keep that coolant line connected.
Did you see the reviews popped up at the same time as The Last of Us 2 for that one game from one of the Halo devs, Disintegration.
Oh, that.
Oh.
I didn't even know I had a Halo dev. How'd that do?
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast. It's that game where they get inside the mech.
Yeah, motorbikes or something.
Yeah, they're in like mechs called grab cycles and doing stuff with that. I listened to a Min-Max interview with that guy. Talked about his experience at Bungie and trying to get that game working. Seems like a cool guy. That game looked okay.
I'm absolutely floored by the positivity of the reviews of The Last of Us 2.
I'm not surprised at all, as I said yesterday.
I expected someone to absolutely hate it, and it seems like very few people have.
I think Polygon's the only one that was just like, this is awful.
What they give
They
it?
didn't put it. They didn't put a score on it, so it doesn't count.
I remember someone gave it an 8.
Yeah, GameSpot gave it an 8.
That's the lowest I've seen, and I'm kind of floored by
Yeah,
that.
the lowest scored one, I think.
The work order is asking us
Yeah,
to
I
salvage
mean,
some antennas.
it's
So we're gonna snag them.
it's the sort of stuff journalists eat up, so I can't trust it. Like, I want to believe this well told in a way, but
because it really can be.
Yeah.
And heavy objects.
This is
just
neat.
like
this game is
just like Drive may have some anxiety and misery in it.
Yeah,
but it's well told. Right, and Only God Forgives is just a nightmare. Yes, and it's the same director, so you really don't know.
I hope that Last of Us 2 is at least as good as Only God Forgives.
Oh my God! Being worse than that would be fucking nightmare.
And that's like, even after reading the reviews, I get the impression that it's that. Like, everyone who's reviews them, like, it feels awful, which is great. It makes me feel terrible. I don't like anything that happens, but that means something.
No matter how bad our spoiler cast goes, I think we're not gonna get quite the reaction we did to The Last of Us 1 spoiler cast, where somebody immediately replied to a part of the podcast where we didn't express anything remotely approaching this. They were like, I can't believe you guys support misogyny.
I forgot we did Last of Us 1 part?
Yeah, I think it was just me and Aggro.
Okay.
It was kind of fucking bonkers. I was like, what the hell did they get out of this? Because we liked the game? You're insane. But a woman dies in it, so it's misogyny.
This is neat stuff.
Yeah, no, this is really cool. I like how methodical this is.
I'm gonna start playing the first one tonight, so I can get prepared for The Last of Us 2.
Well, we were talking about Bob still hasn't gone through Left Behind, so we got to do the DLC for that sometime.
Yeah.
Because I've had The Last of Us since I got the PS4. It was in the bundle I got.
Oh man, if KZ plays that, it's like, oh, I don't even like this one. Oh no.
My God.
Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about that, and I think that. Do you know how excited I would be to be able to unironically go, yeah, 1 kind of misses the mark for me, but 2 is where they really nailed it.
I like it when rusty needles get stuffed into my abdomen.
Yeah.
I really like how The Last of Us 2 opened with her with Ellie in a room with teal and magenta lighting, and her strapped to a chair as a prostitute does a dance and then gets stabbed to death.
How do you own a game on a disc that long? The bundle was a digital bundle.
Right.
They just attached a piece of paper with a code.
Man, if you guys think that's impressive, check this out. Yesterday I went, man, Grand Theft Auto 5's getting those updates for PS5. I'm excited. What platform did I buy that on and then never play? So I had to go to the PlayStation store.
Yeah, like,
I apparently own it on PS4. I bought it on sale. I don't even know when.
You bought it like 2.5 months ago.
Was that when?
Yeah, it was during a podcast call. You're like, I'll buy PS5. And then you click the button.
I might have also bought it on PC. One moment. No. Okay. That's good. I didn't buy it twice and then never play it.
I'm freaking out over, like, how is that a long time to have kept a physical game either? Like, I own games I bought, like, 20 years ago or something.
I mean, some people have massive backlog problems, you know? That's, in fact, I would say it's too normalized in gaming culture, but...
Right. It just never came up for me. I was just, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember when I bought my PS4. I think it was like 2014.
As soon as you remove it from its coolant casing.
That or early 2015.
It's best to move everything you can out of the way.
Yeah, no, this is really neat. Just like doing spaceship repairs. It's not about the horror of monsters or anything. It's just like, if I screw this up, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, no, it's like space repairman Kerbals.
Yes.
Because you have to be fucking delicate and get everything just right. Otherwise, you remove a thing, it becomes unstable, and you die.
I was too busy playing Infamous Second Son. You're right. It was very good.
What game is this? It looks cool. This is Hard Copy. Wait, no, Hard Space Ship Breaker.
Here goes nothing.
Sorry, I had to try that many times at the name. When he said it's not a curse word, I promise, my brain just kept calling it Hard Dick Shit Breaker.
I could have sworn he was saying heartbreak.
Yeah. Fart Space Shit Breaker.
Little playthrough of Hard Space Ship.
What did I miss from Atlas 13 Sentinels? It's coming out at the beginning of September. The English dub will not be at launch.
PS4.
Because they're insane.
I'm glad this is on everything. That's cool.
Well, we are winding things down here on IGN Summer of Gaming Expo number 3, but there is still more to come. Up next, our pals at News Game and More will be rounding up and breaking down all of the biggest pop culture news of the day that we might have missed.
Oh man,
Up at noon
we
at
gonna watch
5.
it? Oh man, Up at Noon, their Daily Show style video game show. We
Is
gotta
Ryan
watch
McCaffrey
that.
on that? I feel like he might express some PS5 opinions that
no, Jim Carrey hosts that show.
Okay. I noticed Ryan McCaffrey doesn't show up in shit for these.
$1 million. Just kidding. We'll be tapping out until Monday, but IGN will be streaming the Gorilla Collective digital event.
You know, I like the idea that Ryan McCaffrey's like, no, I'm too good for this. I'm going to sleep.
Hey Tosh. Evil Eyeball and Kevin Karn say happy birthday.
You all click it. You see that little square wet man and you click
There's absolutely no way the PS5's $700.
No, that's insane. They're saying that IGN Expo Day 4, which is Monday, is supposed to be their biggest one yet.
Is that the 15th? Because somebody was saying IGN does an interview with Tony Hawk on the 15th.
Yeah, it's 15th.
Okay.
Oh man, can you imagine? They do an interview with Tony Hawk. It's a little rough, but you like Tony Hawk, and then they go, pre-order now, demo's out.
Oh, there's a good chance.
Thank you, Blubber Buddy, for gifting a sub to Dylan.
Give Dylan the power of Manny.
Who'll be partying with us all summer long.
We got more happy birthday wishes in chat.
Cool. Happy birthday, Tosh.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Happy birthday, Bob!
As soon as Tosh said it's my birthday, I went, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna shoot Phil right now.
Shoot Phil forever!
There are lots of birthday bannies.
The original thing didn't even come up in content.
Yeah, I know. Now he's just being cruel.
called out.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and
Happy birthday, Bosch.
of your favorite franchises. From
I mean, it's Boshi.
Zing Amazing says, I can't believe Bob hates birthdays. That's true, and I gave birthdays a 0.
Hey, when you get old enough, you start hating birthdays.
No.
Everybody loves watching a speed
No.
run of their favorite game. But what if you got the opportunity to peek into the
Lara
minds
Croft
of the
running
developers
through midair is
while
the
they
best
watch
part of
their
that clip reel.
It's really good.
That's exactly what
I'll be
happens
right
in
back
every
since they're
episode
doing
of Game Devs
this.
React.
Yeah, I was like, this is basically the end, but sure.
We invite you to ride along with the
It's not the end. They're about to start
developers,
streaming the NG Plus
join some of the
podcast.
most skilled players
That means it's the end.
for a game that took years of their life to create.
What's NG Plus podcast? Is that their normal podcast name?
Yeah. From what I was able to gather, that's the thing where it's like, here's all the newest whatever news. And they sit down and talk about it. I listen to their console-related podcasts every now and then. And given how they talked on that one, the NG Plus thing, that one's so bad.
IGN talent. I'm sorry, I've done that like probably 3 times over the last 2 days.
You really have.
Now I just think about how hilarious it would be to be hired by IGN.
I like that countdown. 15 seconds.
Like 15 seconds till destruction.
But before we get started, let's get started. I mean, if you think
Before we get started, let's get started. What a good joke. He's so good at hosting.
First, all summer gaming long, IGN.
Oh no, he's the manager of video programming. I think that Aggro might be on his way to murder this man.
Oh no! Now, my favorite thing with IGN that's happened in the last year since I followed their console podcast is they do video, right? Where they're like sitting in a studio. They're talking about the news of that week for whatever platform it is. And then suddenly they went, yeah, we're gonna switch to audio only, because I guess they thought that they weren't making enough views on the video version. Did that for 6 weeks and went, we're back to video because you guys clearly dropped even harder.
Yeah.
And also got incredibly pissed because they're like, we actually like you. We would actually like a proper video thing. So then they did like 3 months in a broom closet and then got a new studio room again.
Jesus Christ. That's so sad.
It's just funny to see major company go, here's a good idea, and it's not at all a good idea at all.
So I guess that was it.
Yeah.
We didn't plan anything to follow this up with.
You want to watch PS5 event again and come?
Yeah, I spent most of that just thinking about doing that, but I don't know. Seems excessive, doesn't it?
Hold on.
We got one real conference to C3.
Let's just, we're gonna watch the Ratchet thing again.
You do that.
Oh, hey.
They got 13 Sentinels on here.
Yeah, they got 13 cents.
Let's watch
Sentinels over. Oh my god, it's the same trailer. We need to watch the same trailers. Did Warborn show up at anything? That's
I don't
weird.
know.
That's weird. Anyway, we're gonna watch that Ratchet thing again, and then we're gonna shut the stream down.
Oh man, Ark Survival Evolved might actually run next gen. That'd be neat.
That would be neat. I wouldn't expect
Playing it on
it.
Switch.
No, that port's a nightmare. Oh god, I got from the beginning. I could come off as that one episode of It's Always Sunny and just go through the Astrobot thing, the Astro's Playroom, and be like, look, here's the PS1, there's the PS2.
I mean, how many viewers do we have?
How many what? Viewers?
Yeah.
338.
I feel like there's probably people who don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Somebody in Fields' reply, since he retweeted the performance difference thing. Someone in his replies was like, does anyone do a comparison video of overclocking this other GPU from this number to this number? Because that's the same thing. And I'm like, that's about as irrelevant as overclocking a CPU from 8 years ago, since that isn't even an RDNA G2 GPU. Also, those are completely different numbers. You have no idea how close to the thermal limit this is. What I'm trying to say is people are stretching.
This looks incredible again, Dan.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna have to, as Dr. Aggro said yesterday, I am gonna come in this Popeyes cup.
God, this is so insane.
It's really impressive.
Why are you getting excited? That's how they load.
Yeah, it's less than a second. It's an entirely new area.
Which is really cool. I cannot stress how cool that is. Could you imagine a Tony Hawk game where you do a sick Rhine-Grail and a portal opens to another Tony Hawk level?
This is the kindest thing I can say in regards to this take I'm about to post, but stupid people aren't allowed to learn about video game things because they always use it wrong.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I quit the Rant This Go at one point, because I was handing weapons to people who didn't understand what the hell they're talking about.
They're like, I learned what a squeeze through is. Anything. Now I'm just gonna be obnoxious every single day of my life.
There you go, furries.
Who?
It took 20 minutes for Aggro to find porn and just show it to you on screen.
At least it was the cropped version he showed me.
Yeah, it was from the
Very
cropped
Astro
Western
far right.
porn Twitter account.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pause it in time to show you guys all three of these PlayStation consoles.
I'm gonna be honest, I was worried for you. It was fucking 5 a.m. You sound like a crazy person on Twitter.
Which one? Which
Just
time?
Like, very interesting. You can see all the consoles in this. Are they hinting at something more?
I still think
you turned into the ancient aliens guy.
That is the guy they got for China, Illinois, just to be clear.
Oh
wait, no. It was the guy, the narrator from that show, but not the guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just Super Mario 3D World, or the Little Big Planet thing.
Yeah, the Little Big Planet thing is totally reminiscent of that.
Yeah, it's like same perspective, some mechanics really reminiscent. I was like, that's dope.
This is such a cute thing they've made.
There it is.
So there's PS1. You got the one in the background holding the PlayStation 1 logo and the DualShock in the foreground.
That was a controller cable for a PS1 controller apparently earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what Shibby had just yelled in chat.
Okay. We also have PS1 game discs upside down on the right. You can tell because that's the specific type of black ink they use. That's PS3 in the background. They're standing on the slim model, and it has
the super slim even.
Yeah, it's the super slim, and then they have the eye on the right.
God.
But yeah, they said the different worlds are going to take you through different parts of your console and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe we're going to each world to get.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
and then of
PS2.
Course, there's your PS2 right there.
It's just literally a PS2 flying out of the ground.
It's so fucking dope.
Oh my god, this is too
much. This looks like an end of level setup.
It does.
So yeah, I genuinely think you could be going to the different worlds to find out more about, the PS5 features.
Yes,
because the game's supposed to explore the features in the DualSense controller.
I called you crazy before, but roll that back.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Roll that back and show that PS2 slowly.
One moment.
What if this is
Boom.
What if this is the end of level thing? It's like you did it. You have now unlocked the PS2 backwards compatibility for the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it literally doesn't lock the back compat behind that, it still just seems really neat to be like, you're finding the old PlayStations inside of your 5 because the legacy lives on.
This is like, there's so much in this. Like, what are you doing? If you don't have back compat, this just seems weird. Because you have the reference for all of these older systems with their with all the media they use, the actual peripherals they use, showing up. It's crazy.
And then, of course, as I said the other day, during the actual live stream, these PS4 games, because they do this. They do the PS1 boot up sound and a whip pan to that, right?
Which is so good. Such a good sound.
And then they do the years they launched.
How we might have ended up.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Now, the weird thing is, in this YouTube video upload of this, it doesn't have the PS4 logo in the upper right, but in the original stream, which is up here, they put a logo on those games as though they would show any other console. They said PS4. Do you think, because Sony's marketing plan this whole time has been, here's a bit of detail. Here's a bit of detail.
Like, this show was supposed to have all the back compat stuff, and then they split that off into a separate show?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That this was just them being like, only show PS4 games. We don't want them to know yet. Because they haven't done the teardown of the console that they promised, so that's coming at a later date. They didn't even announce all the games coming out by the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about Silent Hill or God of War. So Sony's clearly just giving us piecemeal information as they go, which, you know, it's working for them. I don't know if it's working for Microsoft. Microsoft was like, here's all our info up front, to the point where they've now done 2 separate times where they re-announced that information.
Yeah. It's very cool.
I liked the looking through Imran Khan's tweets, noted like insider journalist guy, who went, this isn't all that Sony has. They plan on showing even more stuff, so probably in August. And in replies went, Sony knows how people perceive the first year of a console's life cycle, and it paid a lot of money to change that. Where their goal is to basically just shoot you for a year.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you, in my opinion, they did a relatively decent job on a first-party front for the PS3, because they had like 5 killer titles coming out at the end. At the end of 2007, and they had like 3 or 4 launch titles, right, from them. The problem was the quality of those titles weren't high enough, and Sony nowadays is much more a polished type of company.
Right, you can see, like, I think that worked out really well for the Switch. Like, year 1 was insane.
Yes.
Then it didn't even matter that the other 2 years weren't great.
Yeah. No one cares that last year was kind of,
Yeah, because you had that insane year that was like, you launched with Zelda, and a few months later you get Mario.
For all intents and purposes, last year was Smash DLC, so it was great. Like, but yeah, no,
they have a small Spider-Man game launching with this system,
which we don't even know that it's small. Like, Lost Legacy is 8 hours or something.
Yeah, it's like the length of a
that's what I'm saying in terms of small. It's not something where it's like, it takes me 50 hours to 100% clear this whole city, do all of this. It's going to be like, I'm imagining 20-ish hours to experience everything in that. And that might be, if you made like a top 5 launch title, I'd put that at like 5 at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when you're talking about this ray traced puddle Spider-Man game,
they're ray traced now.
They're ray traced now.
People don't get that bit. Like, Eminem was so fucking confused.
I saw that. I was tempted to send him the Star Wars clip, but I was like,
they'll learn eventually. But I'm seeing some people theorize that the European Sony exec got confused because they thought they had already announced maybe there's going to be a new bundle of the original Spider-Man with this thing that you'll get on PS5 that you could possibly buy that's like $60 and has the Game of the Year Spider-Man and Miles Morales in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if buying this credits you for the original game as well, but it's a separate executable.
Yeah, they could do something like that too.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is going to be like it's going to be like a $30 or $40 thing that you buy, and I'm just assuming that I don't have to buy the original Spider-Man again.
Right? No, there's no way. So Sony figured that out with Left Behind. Even that's a separate executable. I'm pretty sure. At very least, First Light is. You know?
Yeah. I was like, I think the Left Behind isn't separate, but I don't know.
I think they changed it at the last
even
minute.
Nintendo knows how to do that. That Xenoblade 2 thing, they made like a standalone separate thing.
Good.
Actually, they made it both. So if you like got the season pass, it would be inside the main game. But if you wanted to buy it separately, it could be a separate thing.
But yeah, no, as KZ was saying, like if you look at the grand history of launch titles, the Spider-Man Morales thing could easily hit one of the best launch titles ever, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I think of
Insomniac AAA Spider-Man game,
yeah. When I think about launch titles, and like I'm gonna go ahead and be generous and include like 1 to 2 months after, because the GameCube came out in November, but Smash Bros came out in December.
Yeah,
I'm gonna include that. My list is basically Mario 64, Smash Melee. I don't know.
Breath of the Wild. The only
the Breath of the Wild is the only one that's leaping to mind.
I guess Twilight Princess was technically that, but I wouldn't even.
And for me, Resogun. I know that's
Resogun.
not most people, but Resogun was a huge game for me, and that's made by Housemarque, so that's why I'm excited about.
how about Destiny 2?
Did that launch on something at launch?
Stadia.
I knew it was going to be Stadia.
I was talking about consoles, not pretend boxes. I was doing top console launch titles, not Ponzi
like, say
schemes.
the Bouncer.
The Bouncer came out 4 months after launch. Wait, no, wait. Is that January or March? Someone look that up.
I thought it was March. Who knows?
I keep thinking it's January, but I think it's March.
The Bouncer.
I mean, honestly, if we were to talk about me, Dynasty Warriors 2 was fucking amazing when it came out. So, like,
yeah,
it's Mario 64, Resogun, Smash Melee, and Dynasty Warriors 2 for me. Those are my top 4. But yeah, Rogue Squadron was amazing.
March.
Oh, that's
so,
the GameCube one.
Yeah, it's the GameCube.
It was like
one.
that did not go launch on N64. That doesn't make any sense.
No, that thing's the swan song in the N64.
If you want to count Japan, December 23rd, 2000 for the Bouncer. North America, March 6th.
Yeah, in Japan though, that would have been like 7 months after launch or something, because they launched Q2, I think. Yeah, the PS2 was out Q2 in Japan, and they're like, man, we have a real supply issue. And then that continued for 5 months, and then it launched in America, and everyone went, man, we really do, don't we? But yeah.
It's good that I ended up waiting a year.
Yeah.
Got in like October of 2002. Granted, I was a dumb kid. I didn't know a PS2 existed. I was like, I want Ape Escape. Then my parents went, oh shit, there's a new machine. We can't let this happen. He's gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, October 2002 would have been 2 years after, but by that point, which Tony Hawk would have been 4? I think that's 4. Because 99's 1, 2000's 2. Yeah.
And they were yearly.
You were really hitting some good PS2 games around then. You know, you got your Shinobi, you got your Tony Hawk 4. Oh man. But yeah, no, this is really cool. They better give me that next gen version of GTA 5 for free.
Yeah,
because they didn't do that for the PS4 version of 5.
No, they wanted you to buy that again.
But nowadays they're like, GTA Online is where the money is. We don't need to sell them the core game again.
Yeah, hopefully they realize that and continue with that. Don't ask us to buy this game again.
Also, it's really funny that Sony made that deal to give everyone GTA Online ASAP on the PS5, because they're like, we too know that's where the money is, and we would love to get some of that money. But yeah, no. Anyway, we need to shut this down. We're not going to be doing
You're turning Phil into you. He's tweeting about the PS5 not going to be $700.
I'm turning Phil into a guy who says things that should be obvious to people, but for some reason isn't. Yeah, Sony didn't. But here's the thing. People can entertain $700 tapping into what that cynical piece of shit journalist said last year. People can think it's a $700 console, and then when they come out and they say it's $450, they look like they've just done magic.
Yeah.
Because for $450, it is a great value.
Look over they showed. It looked insane. It looked amazing. Every one of those games looked crazy. And then the design for the box looks really crazy.
Yes.
So give people the impression that this is money.
Yeah, this thing is just made from liquefied cash.
Yes.
I want them to do a tacky thing in the form of the Final Fantasy 15 release date announcement where it's the little slot machine and it sticks on 7 and then shoots to 4.
Yeah, no, they'll do that. They'll do something like that because they didn't announce the price here. You know what that means? That means the price itself is a showcase.
Yes.
They're not going to be like, here's a blog post. I don't think so. I think they're going to make a deal out of it.
Yeah, well, as soon as Microsoft announces, they'll announce $50 under or more.
Yeah, no. Once Microsoft announces, they'll be like, next week we have a thing happening, so tune in. It's a video. It's CGI.
It's one of those things like the letters,
it's
the
over.
symbols.
They're doomed.
Yeah.
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Microsoft's like, we're going to show off our first party offering in July. And so many people are saying, yeah, Sony's going to do another thing in August. After the Microsoft thing, they're back again. And they just do another presentation that's awesome like this one, but it also goes into stuff like backwards compatibility.
Yeah, it's just back compat in money.
Yeah.
The OS, the price, the date.
I still can't believe we haven't seen anybody on Twitter or anything mention that part of the OS we saw for a second.
Yeah, no, everyone seems to be ignoring that that's the boot up screen for the PS5, and it's like, that was hype as shit. That brings back the PS3 vibes.
It does.
And the PS3 OS has
lost his mind over the sparkles.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
I bet that it's Q Games again.
Probably.
Because it looks really nice, and they're really good at that.
I need to ask Dylan on the DL, be like, hey, is it you? Did you do it? Can you tell me, please?
Kyle Bosman talked about it on his video.
Oh, cool. Good.
Because he put up a video on his channel of his thoughts on it.
I need to watch that.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to watch that after this.
He has a very, very frighteningly long segment at the end over the GTA thing, and it's very good. Of how he thinks the calls between Sony and Rockstar went over that.
Great. But yeah, no, the showing was really promising. I genuinely, based on everything Microsoft's done this gen, can't expect them to counter as strongly, which upsets me.
I bet that thing next month is still gonna be Zoom calls.
Probably.
Like, that's the saddest thing in the world.
No, it's Microsoft Teams.
Or worst case scenario, Microsoft invites a bunch of YouTubers out in the middle of a pandemic, and everyone who's an Xbox fanatic's like, good. This is what they should do. And everyone with the brain's like, no, what?
Those people shouldn't have answered that call.
But yeah, no,
KZ, it won't be Microsoft Teams. Not even they can get it working.
Oh. I just really wish... I wish Microsoft had a strong first-party or second-party offering. They did on the Xbox One. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, that launch had... which, it's crazy, because that launch is known for being super anti-consumer, having mismanagement like absolute crazy, which it did, which awful.
Yeah.
But somehow they had games?
Yeah, somehow I had a decent set of games, and the worst part about it was they shoved microtransactions into each and every one, but even still, they had a roster of games. And
I wish they'd commit to next gen like Capcom has.
I mean, they announced 2 next-gen exclusive games at Capcom, so that's already beating Microsoft. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Apparently, they were initially planning on making it cross-gen. Just said, "Fuck it, we'll just hammer on next gen."
I mean, to be honest, that trailer kind of looked doable to a large extent on last gen. I'm not saying the trailer as it was could run on a PS4. I'm saying the framework, the animation fidelity, the character model,
You're
stuff
saying
like
Resident
that.
Evil 8, right?
Yeah, Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the Xbox.
Yeah,
because they also announced
they
the,
initially
oh,
were shooting
other
for
thing,
cross-gen.
The
crazy
Pragmata
copy.
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed he was talking about Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Resident Evil.
We're just talking about Capcom in general, so I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Resident Evil. Resident Evil doesn't look that far removed from 7, where it seems completely impossible to have what is basically that game running on the PS4.
Mhm.
So I was kind of shocked afterward when I heard that was next-gen exclusive. Happy, but surprised.
Yeah, the guy talking about the RE8 stuff for months, was talking about it ahead of time, said that, yeah, they initially planned to do cross-gen and was surprised at how much better certain things looked at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've already done upgrades, and that they planned on doing a January release, but the pandemic basically pushed them back.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And yeah, they don't want to rush it out.
Yeah, that's fair. You know,
They don't want to break this streak.
Yeah, no, that's the last thing you want to do. Lose faith.
They're like, we're trying to keep the annualization of this franchise like good.
Yeah, and
God, that's crazy.
That it's just annual and excellent.
Right?
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's funny too because a lot of
8.
A lot of people are critical of the multiplayer mode of 3.
Mm-hmm.
In as much as I've never heard a single person talk about, yeah, I played it more than once.
Yeah, that thing is not great.
But so many people really like Resident Evil 3 that it shows that you can ship a non-starter of a multiplayer with these games and it just doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Hopefully that told them, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Just save the money and make something else.
I was hearing some people say that some character in Resistance is in 8.
What?
Like there's like story connections.
Oh, that's fucked up. Shit. Anyway, we're gonna shut this down. We'll see you guys for all the conferences tomorrow. And that's gonna be it for a bit. But yeah, be sure to stop on by at latest 11 a.m. Central Daylight Time here tomorrow. Sorry, KZ.
Let's double check that time before we go.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. June 13th, Guerrilla Collective, 11 a.m. That's what I've written.
Wake up bright and early so we can take a look at the mug of Greg Miller.
I forgot he was involved.
As I told you, Guerrilla Collective is the kind of funny game showcase, partnering up with multiple other companies to make a super thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was hoping this was like how Penny Arcade Expo became PAX, and the two guys from Penny Arcade just sort of faded away after a year or two.
Yeah, I don't know.
This was one of those situations, but I guess I'm not that lucky.
You watched IGN, so clearly you have zero standards. Greg Miller's a breath of fresh air.
He definitely pulled it off better last year with his indie game showcase, which wasn't good. But it wasn't nearly as obnoxious as these guys were.
I agree with that.
It's funny because in a lot of that, he was trying to host it the way they host their podcasts and not how he hosts real events.
Right. It's almost like charisma's a thing.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to go. Have a good one, everyone.